welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Mediumcore. In today's episode, we're going to be working on the other guard tower that sits right about here. Ow. As you can see, I've already got the door in place, and my deep slate shulker boxes, which I believe are completely empty. Well, only mostly. So I'll have to go mining, and then I'm going to get these walls built up to the same height as this other tower. I bet this looks oh so familiar. Well, it should anyway. And honestly, this one took significantly less time. I think that tower, considering I had to rework it a couple times and mess with this, I think this tower probably took about 2 or 3 hours to build up the hold. This one took maybe 1.5, if that. It was much quicker, because for that tower I had to build up, tear down, getting it into the right spot. For this one, everything was already in place, and it was smooth sailing. And I gotta say, even though it's not even remotely complete, this area just looks so much better having both these towers in place. Like, it's shaping up to look really cool. I really like how that turned out, and it helps to break up the big flat wall. And there's a wandering trader down here. He ain't got jack. Man, these guys are tanky. Anyway. Nobody saw anything. Anyway, I'm gonna slap on a roof, and then I will be back when that's done. Also, one thing I gotta say quick with the 1.20 update, these doors are now a much bigger pain since you can actually click on the signs. So that's a little unfortunate, but it's something I'll have to deal with. But yeah, now I will go slap on a roof. Honestly, I think I have to go back to the nether anyway. Now that looks so sweet. I really like how this looks. I know it's still not quite finished, but I just think that looks so cool. That's not a firework. And I think it's gonna look even better when I've got all the arrow slits. And they'll be illuminated too at night. An Enderman? Oh no, it's a wandering trader. Surprised he's still hanging around. But yeah, I think this looks really cool. It's really tying this build together, and it does look good. I know I'm just repeating the same thing over again, but I just absolutely love this. I'm sorry, but it's not done, and it's nowhere near done. And I think I'm gonna do something kind of the opposite with this tower that I did with the last tower. This tower, there was just a bunch of space between the lower levels, and then the upper levels were closer together. So I think for this one, to kind of create a little more offset of the visible arrow slits, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to have my bottom floors be closer together, and then have more space between my upper levels. And hopefully, with the offset that'll create, hopefully it'll look good. But I absolutely love how this is looking. I think this looks so cool. And it's just gonna get better from here. I'm really happy with how this has turned out. And yeah, I'm gonna get to work on the interior. All 8 million hours of it. And hopefully it'll look a lot better when it's all done. For being the exact same shape and size of tower, this one felt significantly harder, and I really don't know why. And I think it's kind of reflected on the interior. I honestly don't think the interior of this one is as good. Also, you can see I've had to make some modifications here to accommodate this very long staircase because I kind of underestimated the distance between this floor and that floor. So there's this really long staircase, but there's still, I think, the same or even more floors. I think it's the same amount of floors. But this one's empty because it's really small. This one's pretty big, so I had to fill in some of the gaps. But all the floors have a good amount of view range with the arrow slits. So it could be worse, but I think it could be quite a bit better as well. I don't think this one is quite as good. It didn't turn out the way I'd hoped on the inside. The outside, however, I think the outside looks better. I think from the outside, the arrow slits are much more balanced. The only thing I'll say is there's not as many up in the center as there probably should be, but I think it does look more balanced. So, yeah, instead of them just being kind of clumped up, they're kind of actually offset. Though there's none up there either because, yeah, as I said, I underestimated the size requirements of the this floor. So I probably could have done with another floor, but well, it is what it is. I don't want to bother getting more resources for something that still might end up not looking good. Like, it's fine as it is. But yeah. But now this project is actually finally done. Technically, I can start working on the big tower. But I'm not gonna do that. Not next episode. Not yet, anyway. Because there's still some other things I'd like to do before I get it started. First of which being finish the outside of the base, not the outer wall, just the ground. And my goal is to do that between episodes. And then I can start the digging project, which means I'd have to move the beacon again. Well, I say again like I moved it in the first place, but I'd have to relocate the beacon. But yeah, as you can see, in between episodes I did work on this bit. So the outside is like a quarter of the way done, but that took so abhorrently long. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I thought doing the floor here in the inner circle was time consuming. This is just ridiculous because it's such a big circle. There's just so much land. So I tried to get this episode recorded in as short of a span as possible. So I actually had time between episodes. So I do have a decent amount of time to work on this, and I'm not going to work on it on camera because it's monotonous and it's not linear, because I don't like build the whole thing and be done. I build a strip, I do something else, I build a strip, I do something else, I build a strip, and I do something else, because if I build it all at once, it actually drives me insane. So yeah, I figured it wouldn't be a great viewing experience, so I just decided to get this tower done as quickly as I could, and you can kind of see why that wouldn't be too difficult. It's just a tower. It's a small tower too. I should say, like the actual big tower. Yeah, that took a while because that's big dude. But they're quite small, and a good chunk of them you only have to build like 7 blocks high because it's on top of the other tower, so it's not so bad. But yeah, Everything I do for you guys. Yeah. So I'm gonna get to gathering materials. Actually, I'm gonna get to sleeping, and then I'm going to work on making progress, or hopefully finishing the exterior circle. And with that in mind, that is all I'm going to do for today's episode of Minecraft Mediumcore. I do hope you enjoyed it. It was good to see this project get properly completed. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.